All right, before I show you my watch list for tomorrow, let me show you how I made over $40,000 on this one trade in CBAK today. All right, I'm just kidding. I'm just kind of poking fun at these emails you get that claim $20,000 to $30,000 in one trade this week or today. And I'm not suggesting that those emails aren't true, but I am suggesting it's the quickest way to take a new trader and to ruin them for day trading forever. Okay, just to wreck them, empty their accounts. Seeing numbers like that in an email, to me, sending those out is irresponsible. All right, because all you're going to do is give people casino eyes, and they're going to view the market and try to get rich quick. All right, so you come into the market trying to get rich quick, following these guys. That's the quickest way to get broke quick. All right, it's just irresponsible in my opinion. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying most people that try that and try to follow these guys end up blowing out their accounts in very short order. So, just be careful of claims like that. And again, I'm not calling anybody a liar. I'm just saying it's irresponsible because if you've traded any length of time, going in with that attitude when you start trading will ruin you real quick. All right. CBAC, I did trade today though. I called it when this volume came in. It's a lower price stock. But I really liked the 5-day chart on this thing. So I called it long for the chat room at 362 with a 350 stop. And we got a quick move up through 410. So that was a nice trade. Did not make 40-something thousand dollars on it though. Just trying to have a little fun. All right, my watch list for tomorrow. Dick's Sporting Goods, DKS. It hasn't broken a previous day's high in about 5 or 6 days. Man, this thing held 44 so nicely after this gap up here that I'm really going to be eyeballing this for a bounce off 44 again. Let me go to 60-minute candles and show it to you. I mean, this thing really just obeyed 44, if you will. And so that one, if we can get down to 44, I'll be looking for an intraday bounce there on Tuesday. NRG is another potential bounce play. I drew a line there, recent support from mid-May. If it gets down to that day, it's around 33.30. I'll be looking, usually when I'm looking for support here, guys, I will still use a candlestick setup. It might even be 1 or 2 minute candles, but generally on stocks like this, it might be a 5-minute buy setup on like DKS or NRG. Once I know it gets down to support, and keep in mind I'm a day trader, so these aren't swing trades or anything, and these may or may not ever get to these prices, in which case I won't trade them. We always find stuff to trade in the chat room, but I try to start each day with a list of potential trades. I'm extremely embarrassed to say KNDI. I saw it 5 minutes in. I saw it in pre-market actually, and I just was. I managed to never get in this one. I'm always looking around trading other things, but this one gave plenty of good pullbacks to what we call the buy zone between the blue and red line there, and I just was never looking at it when it did. But what a great breakout today, and that one is probably going to be multi-day. So for now, the reason I bring it up is I just have it on watch tomorrow. Maybe we get a gap down in the market and then a gap down in KNDI in a narrow range or something, and then a break of its high will give you a nice trade. DGLY. This one's interesting. It went from, try to give you some prices here, it went from like 311, if I have that right. I'm sorry, about 327 a couple days ago. I don't know what the high was, 944. So I need a couple big red days. When it gets down near this 470 area, I might be looking for a bounce. But this is one you want to throw on a chart now and have on bounce watch. I don't have an entry price for you. It's interesting around 470, 480, but I don't just blindly jump in if it gets there. But I do like a strong stock. The pullback to the 8-day moving average generally is where I'll look to try to get along, again, with intraday candlesticks as my guide. UPL, this has been in a video recently. Resistance back here at 26, here at 26, and then it bounced off 26 nicely late May, and now it's coming back down to that area again. You can't see it in this chart. No, never mind. I thought wrong chart. But this one is interesting if it gets down near 26 for a potential intraday bounce. TXMD, this one's super interesting to me. Hasn't broken a previous day's high since it gapped up a few days ago, but massive volume about 5 days ago. Little bit of a tail today. So this one goes on bounce watch. I've talked about this in my other videos. What I'd like to see is a narrow range tomorrow and then an upside break later, at least after the first hour, preferably in the afternoon. If this one lights up the new highs ticker, after an hour or two, or again, preferably in the afternoon, after a narrow range of trading for a while, I almost guarantee you'll have a nice trade. So I say this in almost every video. It doesn't cost you anything to have these recent crazy ones on charts. Okay, you don't just dive in. You got to make it meet your parameters, but that's a nice setup there. XGTI, another cheapie, but I like this one a lot. Almost hit 3 back here. It had this crazy move from like $1 to 5. Okay, and you can see it's putting in lower highs, lower lows, and then all of a sudden you get another gap up, and this gap up took out this one's high briefly, but it's got great support here in the high, probably 160s, and then now after this second gap up, you've got a little bit of a higher base. So this has pretty good support below and a couple recent spikes. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit now. So it's interesting. I really like it over today's high, 224, and I'll show it to you on 15-minute candles. Actually, the first catalyst, I drew a line here, a couple little lower highs. Well, it's about the same price, never mind. Basically 224. I like it a lot, and then if you get to 224 and you get some volume, I could easily see this taking out 235 to the upside, and then it could absolutely be off to the races. Okay, this one, it's a lower float stock and can really move at times. I don't think I would touch this unless it hit 224 tomorrow, and then again, like TXMD, you could get a really nice percentage gain in a very short period of time if that meets, if it does hit that trigger, especially coming out of a base. Man, I'll tell you what, I think that's it. If I had to pick my favorites real quick, I really like DKS off of the 44 area, so keep that on watch, especially because it's down 5 or 6 days in a row and has really nice support just below. And this is a little bit riskier and spreadier, but this DGLY could give a really nice turn one of these days, and it's going to move quickly when it does to the upside. Those are probably my two favorites, and maybe TXMD as well. A late afternoon, high of day break, you could get a nice. So these are all potential nice percentage gainers. And I'm going to leave it at that. We'll find more stuff to trade after the market opens tomorrow. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.